As always, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell to be notified for future videos. As the great Ricky Bobby once said in the 2006 movie Talladega Nights, well, let me just quote the great late Colonel Sanders, who said, "I'm too drunk to taste this chicken." Hello, and welcome back to the Fish Tank. I am Cole, and today we're working on a 1969 Ford Torino Talladega for this month's Diecast Mafia Build-Off Challenge. This month has been chosen by Ron, aka Somo Diecast. My plan for this month's build is something a bit different, and since we are working on a Talladega, I thought Ricky Bobby would be appropriate for this month's build-off. Now, if that doesn't give it away right away, then you're going to have to wait and watch the video to see our final results to get the full picture. Let's get into it. Our car, guys. This is our 1969 Ford Torino Talladega. I already pre-drilled it and I'm taking it apart here just to examine it and inspect the casting. So my idea for this challenge came from Somo Diecast and his last Diecast Mafia build-off, the 1968 442 Oldsmobile, and I liked his decal work a lot. So, knowing me, I emailed him right after I watched that video and I said, "Hey, Ron, do you think you can design a set of decals for me for our next Diecast Mafia build-off?" And he told me, "Sure." And after a while and him designing them and he sent them to me, I got to work with this. After I do the post, guys, we are going to move on. So, this is our casting. It was pretty beat up. The paint was chipped. And honestly, I think it was sitting in a type of acid because there was a weird film on it. So I'm going to grab my chum bucket, like I always do, unscrew it, and it's refilled as you see here, and we're going to plop her in. Once we are done plopping her in, we are going to close it up tight, make sure it's tight, and shake it. Then we're going to put it off to the side. Next, I'm going to grab our plastic pieces because I really want to try to clean up this disgusting looking base. So I'm going to first by taking the wheels off, as you see here, and I'm just going to put them into my wheel bin that you see me pull out right there. I save them. You never know if you're going to need them. And then I'm going to grab the rest of my plastic pieces, and then we're going to pull up the famous hot tub. Remember, you can use hot soapy water to put your plastics in just to get off any dirt, residue, anything like that. So guys, I didn't really tell you the plan of my build here. So I had an idea, and the idea was to design and create out of this 69 Torino the 62 car from Talladega Nights. And this idea came to me out of the blue because we were working with a NASCAR type car, and I thought it would be appropriate to do something a little bit different and out of the blue. I'm not sure if anyone's done this yet, but if I'm the first, that would be pretty sweet. So I pretty much just let the cat out of the bag, and that's the decals that Ron designed for me. So I hope you guys like the idea. It's something a bit different and out of the ordinary. And if you do like this build, at the end of the video, make sure to comment your feedback for this car and if you would want to see more movie type cars in the future. Just let me know. So guys, after I finish scrubbing here, we are going to move on to stripping this with the super clean and then removing the plastic posts to be able to fit our new wheels. After that, we're going to paint it with our Quicksilver from Testers. I'll see you in a moment. Yeah, welcome back guys. So here is everything out of the hot tub. It's all clean, it's all fresh looking, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to put my plastic pieces right into our weekly bin, and we're going to focus right now on the base. So I just grabbed a pair of pliers that I had because I wanted to remove the little plastic tabs or the nubs where they put the wheels. And if you see that in that the far left where that arrow just was, that car is going to be the car we use for our wheels. And the axles are a bit bigger and the posts or the little nubs got in the way. So I thought it would just be appropriate to remove the nubs so I can just plop the axles in and glue them straight to the to the base right after we are done painting it, as you see here. After this, we do paint it with the Quicksilver, and it turned out awesome. You'll see it again in a moment. So here it is painted, looking all fresh, looking great, and it just turned out amazing. So these are the wheels, like I was saying, we're going to use, and I'm going to fit them to this base. So what I do is I'm going to measure them to the base, and then I'm going to remove the metal nub there at the end with my snippers. So the easiest thing I like to do is I like to remove the nub and then snip it off like I'm about to, and then we're going to put them on a pair of helping hands to then glue or put Gorilla Glue on the end of it to make like a new nub or new end piece. Once you do that, you can add a bit of the chrome pen to simulate the original nub. And it turns out great. We do this on both wheels, and it honestly, looking at it, because the car's in my hand, you can't even tell that it's there unless you look very, very closely. Let's move on. So here is our base after we got it out of the stripper. It looks good, but there is a lot of imperfections. As you see back there, the back bumper or the rear trunk lid was pretty beat up. There was a hump on the back trunk lid here, and it was like leftover diecast or something. I'm not sure what it was, but it was just ugly, and I had to get rid of it. There also was some lines on the roof, as you see right there. And so I did my normal. I just made the curve and I did remove it properly. So guys, doing this is very important. Unless you're doing like a red line or something to keep all the imperfections, make sure you take the time and file off all the casting lines. I recommend it if you want a nice, clean looking car. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but if you're trying to make your car look new or realistic, I would remove the casting lines. So as you see there, we got the roof done on the one side, and then we did the front. Now we're doing the driver's side, and this car was pretty much clean other than, like I said, the rear trunk lid and the roof here. And there was some on the side by the on the rear B-pillars. So next I am going to clean the car, and we are going to use our steel brush, and we are going to use our steel wool. So once we finish up doing this, we are going to move on to paint. Move on to paint. Cuda's Diecast Customs. We'll be right back.
So guys, here is the paint that I went with. I went with a Testors Pure Gold Extreme Lacquer for the base coat, and then I went with a Krylon Shortcuts Hobby Gloss Black for some accent pieces. I taped it off on the trunk line here, and also taped it up on the front end here. After this, guys, we are going to move on to putting on our decals. I'll see you over there.
If you haven't figured it out by now, these are the decals I went with. I went with the car at the end of Talladega Nights, the 62 car that Ricky Bobby drove, aka Will Ferrell, and I wanted to apply them to this car. So again, I want to thank Ron over at Somo Diecast for designing me these custom decals for this build. I really appreciate it, man, and again, I owe you big time. I love these decals, and honestly, they were a bit thick, but I still managed to figure them out, and it turned out cool. Thank you again, buddy. Next time, we gotta do some more work together. Cannot wait. So as you see here, I am applying them a bit wrong. I know you're supposed to use tweezers and not really touch them, but I applied them with my fingers. And I do apply all of them, but I only show the two because it was a really slow and picky process with the side decals because they were so large. but they still got on, and I trimmed them. I know you see a lot of white, but there was a lot of trimming and a lot of redo, but in the end, it turned out very, very cool. This is what the car looks like finally done. We got them all on, the decals on the side, roof, hood, and we got the me on the back. This is before it had clear coat on and it got all cleaned up, because I know it looks a little messy. And this is the car clear coated. Wow, so shiny. And it looks done. It looks complete. Like I said, everything's all cleaned up, not as much white showing. And now I'm going to move on to what I did on the back, because if you look at a real picture of the car that was used in the movie, the rear bumper was red, and I wanted to simulate that in this car as best as possible. So what I did was I grabbed my Rust-Oleum's red, it was like a fire truck red color, and I painted the rear bumper. I had to put it on about 2 times to really make it pop. But it did turn out pretty cool. So we did paint that, and then we also painted the rear black, and we filled in the headlights with red Sharpie. And then when I move on to the front, because I don't really show it, the front, what we did was we used our chrome pen on the bumper, and then we painted the grille black, and we filled in the lights with white Testors paint. So I think it really filled it out, and it really completed the look of the car. I'm really happy with how this turned out. My main focus was the casting, but a lot of work went into the base here. Once we are done with this, guys, we are going to move on to our final assembly. I'll see you over there.
Here is our final assembly, guys, on our 1969 Ford Torino Talladega. First, we're going to start off by showing the base. There is our custom NASCAR Goodyear wheels. We did the back. We painted the bumper, as you remember in the last clip. Did the tail lights, and we did the black accent. We also did a chrome accent. Ron, the decal, my bad, that was on the back here wouldn't stick to the plastic. I tried multiple times and it just didn't stick, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. The car's still cool. Remember, we did paint our base here in the Testors silver, Quicksilver, and then we used our chrome pen up on the front bumper here. Kind of can see it, looks cool. Then we did some black accents here, and then we filled in the headlights, looking cool. Next is our glass. It does need to be polished, and I will be doing that before the final reveal. But it looks so much better than it did before. Here is our casting. It looks amazing. I gotta thank you, Ron, again for setting me up with these cool custom Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights decals. This just turned out amazing. I love how it looks. I love the accent colors that I did here. And it just screams NASCAR. I love it. It's cool. And I believe it's a bit different. Also, to finish everything off, this is our interior. Very simple and very clean. Guys, let's go see what we started with.
If you remember at the beginning of the video, this is what we started with. A pretty well played with 1969 Ford Torino. Today we truly did give her a facelift and made her pretty again. Let's go see our final results. What you all have been waiting for. Here is our 1969 Ford Torino Talladega Nights Edition. I think it turned out amazing. It is very cool. The decals are on point on like I like them. Our back bumper is painted. It is a bit different shade of red, but it still looks cool. I wanted to thank Ron for making these decals for me again, and I wanted to thank the Diecast Mafia. As always, you guys are a great group. I love being a part of our group here, and I cannot wait to make more cars with you guys. Speaking of the Diecast Mafia guys, make sure to go check out their videos. Links will be in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.